All right, so I have a little bit of an auction addiction, and yes, we brought this thing home, and well, somebody else really wanted it, and I wanted it for maybe more than I should have, but I already wanted it in my head, and then it was there, and then the price kept going up, and I just kept bidding until it was on my trailer, and this is where we're at. So, new to me, 2007, this is a Clubman Precedent something or other. It's not exactly as pretty as it maybe could be, but we are going to be doing some things to it. So that's been my plan anyway. It's got like a F-150 style front body on it, and I'm not sure if this is custom in the rear here as well, but I'm not super fond of the color. It's been sitting outside a little bit by the looks of the mold on it, but nothing we can't clean up. And a paint job is probably in order, a little polish on the hubcaps, and well, also for the amount I paid for it, it doesn't run, and it probably should have. But I think we're somewhere in the 2,500, maybe a little bit more with the fees and all that kind of stuff, but tax and all those types of things. So we're probably like $2,700 into this thing, and yeah, I know it's probably like $2,200 on Facebook Marketplace, but those are ones that are beat up and used on golf courses pretty hard. So I'm crossing my fingers that I've got a good buy here, but I guess we shall see. So naturally, it was out of gas, and the guy at the auction told me that the battery was pretty well shot. So that would be forward, neutral, reverse. Okay, that would be why we got nothing. All right, so we're dead in the water here right now, but if that's a battery, that would be expected. So let's get this old battery out of here. Looks like it's GM style, which is might be an issue. I guess we'll see what batteries I have laying around here. And yes, I have not learned my lesson. I bought that at the auction too, and it still doesn't run. So, a lot of new parts on it though. It does look pretty, sort of, when it's all together. So, jump pack is on. We're in reverse. Ooh. Kind of wanted to go, but we're dropping voltage pretty quick. So, I would say our battery is pretty shot, and this jump pack is not fully charged either, so at least we're trying. That's a good sign, but we're definitely gonna need a battery. All right, so let's make a mad dash to Sam's Club and see if we can get, actually maybe BJ's. I'm gonna see what their hours are. I'm gonna grab a wrench real quick. We're gonna get that battery out of there and see if we can find one. All right, we're in the trusty Ranger. With any luck, find a battery tonight and we can get this thing rolling, because I really hope everything works with it, because I don't want to have another thing that I bought for more than I should have that doesn't run. So either way, we'll figure it out. Golf carts are like the Nissan Altimas of things to buy. If they don't work, there's tons of parts out for them, and they're made to be abused. So this is kind of the thrill of the auction, knowing whether you got it. Well, I mean, we already discussed there's probably no deal to be had on this thing, but sometimes you just got to be like, you're not getting it and I am. And, you know, the anticipation kind of gets to you sometimes, where you're like, you know, I've been thinking about if I'm going to get this item for a couple of days, or, you know, am I going to let somebody else have it over, you know, a couple $100 more than I wanted to spend. That's kind of the way the auction goes, and sometimes it gets you, and the auction sometimes will provide you a good deal, and sometimes you get a Honda four-wheeler that doesn't run. So there is that, but we'll get there with that thing. That's just, I don't have a lot of time to work on it. I basically rebuilt the entire thing. That's the only thing I'm having issues with right now, is a float on the carburetor. So we'll figure that out. That's not a big deal. It's just time. Time is always the issue. But hopefully we haven't made that mistake here. I have had some pretty good wins at the auction. So we will get a battery, and we will clean the connections, because they were all green anyway. So that's probably part of our issue there, why it wouldn't start. But we will revisit once we have a new battery, and I'm really hoping for the best. All right, we're at AutoZone, so see if AutoZone has what we need. Well, that didn't look like it was going anywhere fast. There's a bunch of people there, and some people are on the phone and the whole thing, and it looked like we were gonna be there a while before I could even talk to anybody. And I'm pretty sure they would just be like, oh no, we don't have anything like that, after I wasted half an hour. So just kind of my spidey senses about what was going on by what I was hearing. So time to move on to the next place, and hopefully we'll have some luck. And people were coughing like they were trying to get their lungs up their throat. So I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I know it's pollen season, but I'm not taking any risks with that kind of stuff. All right, we're at Advance. Let's see what they got. All right, so we have our battery. So Advance Auto came through. It's a little bit bigger than the one that came out of it, cold cranking amp wise, and I'm pretty sure the warranty at Sam's and Best Buy, or not Best Buy, I'm pretty sure the warranty at Sam's and BJ's is better. Sam's for sure. They give you like, I don't know what it is, 3-year warranty on them, and they're pretty good prices too, but I'd have to drive a little ways to even get there, so we would not make it before they close today, and I kind of want to get this thing going right now. So it was like $127 for a battery, but hopefully that gets us in a good place with this thing. It's turning. Oh yes, we got motion. That is a very, very good sign. All right, let's get her in reverse. And off we go, off the trailer on its own power. I already checked the oil, so just don't have to worry about that. It's not. That's reverse, that's forward. There we go. She is moving. And I am a very happy person because I paid way too much for this, as you guys already know. Probably said it 1,000 times, but apparently it was a true story. This thing had been sitting since last fall, and the battery was bad. So it's a little rough. The paint's a little rough, but we're going to change that anyway. And let's go over and show it to neighbor Mike. Well, it is mine now.
No, I thought it was rubber. Oh.
Yeah, it's the,
yeah. It's gas?
Yep.
Yeah.
It'll go. There you go. It's been sitting a little bit. I just put gas in it.
Just put battery and gas in?
Yeah, battery and gas. I never get that lucky, so. There she goes.
Pretty sweet, dude.
Oh, yeah. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Hey, dude, this is slick. I dang it.
Yeah, these things are like, they're made to be beat on, so. Found a rabbit.
Let's see, we need those in that tree.
Yeah, I gotta keep this thing pristine.
Pretty sweet.
Not bad for a mini F-150. Square body dually.
It is going to be Mr. Fast.
Yeah.
No part of me is surprised, but this might be my favorite purchase of yours.
Really?
Yeah. This might be my favorite purchase of yours. This beats the Dart, this beats the Camaro, this beats the Porsche.
You know how much money I could have saved to be impressive? I could have just bought this thing. I'd have been good to go. I mean, it's the fact that it's the F-150.
Oh yeah.
That was the deciding factor that I was just, I was locked in, and it just had to happen. Because it went way past my estimate of what this thing was really worth.
Governor needs to come off.
Oh yeah, governor is going to get adjusted. Well, actually, a Harley V-twin would be pretty cool, but I don't think it'd get enough air.
Yeah, we can put a 396 in it.
Yeah, I don't know if it would fit, but we could try. Maybe a K-truck. K-truck would work. Fit anything in the bed. Yep, here it is in all its glory. The soon-to-be not Little boy. That's its old identity. It's got to go. We're changing it up. It's going to be something new and exciting. Oh, I like the big truck one in the middle.
Yeah.
It's got like this is like a mud mouse size one. But if you look, it's
Yeah.
I don't know how far off. Who measured this? What was going on that day?
If it would take all the work, I'd say make it a Super Duty front end. Like, paint it white, match it.
It would be cool.
You need to match it to your Super Duty.
Do it like the white with the sparkle.
Absolutely.
That would be cool.
Then you need the Starlight headliner in this
Starlight headliner. Oh yeah, we could do it all. I don't know. I guess the wheels have to start turning and see what we're gonna end up doing with this thing. But definitely gonna move this because that is bothering me now.
Put this on it right there.
Ah yeah, there we go.
Right.
Put it right in the middle.
Yeah. Chauncey.
That's perfect.
The big Chauncey for the little boy.
Yes, sir. She's gonna be a big boy now. All right, so first day is pretty successful, I would say. It runs, the battery they gave me is a little bit bigger than the one that was in there. So we have it sitting there, but it's gonna need to be tied down. And I'm gonna make a tray for it and so I can bolt it down properly. But it's just like there's a little square piece of plastic and the other battery was smaller, so it's sitting on top of that. So I'll just make a flat piece over top of that and we'll be good to go. But with a little cleanup and a paint job, I think it's going to be a pretty sweet unit. So drop in the comments, what color should we paint it? What theme should we go with this golf cart project? And did I get a good deal or did I get ripped off? And if anybody knows where this front end came from, I don't know. I've never seen one like it, but I think it's pretty cool. But first things first, its identity is about to change. If I can see in the dark here. These rusty screws. This part has got to go. This is from the old regime and it's time for its new life. There we go. No more little boy.